The first thing to understand about Koizumi's conception of The Legend of Zelda is that it's all deliberately childlike. Ocarina, especially, depicts child Zelda as a childhood playmate. She's like his sister, or his best friend, basically. In later Aonuma games, the spirit of this would split from Zelda into Aryll from Wind Waker, or Ilia from Twilight Princess. You'll learn a lot about Koizumi's life if you read Rosalina's storybook from Mario Galaxy. But actually, you'll notice this story is eerily similar to the one told to you by Angie's grandmother. The story is illustrated like an oil painting. You'll notice even down to the library and the campfire. This is very autobiographical. You can't depict something like this without having lived it.
Let us begin.
The story in both cases is a story about a child wanting to find their family, but along the way they create a new family among their playmates. There's just a lot going on here that nobody really talks about, but Koizumi directed both of these games. This is just very obviously him. I think also the fact that I'm one of the first people to talk about this just goes back to the whole thing of, wow, the Nintendo fandom is stupid, because it's not like, there's zero overlap between Zelda fans and Mario fans. I mean, it's like the exact same demographic and everything. Like seriously, well, why do I have to be the one?
I feel like right now in the early days of Switch, that's what you're seeing, is that there's people who have the Switch and are hungry for
but
games
how many?
to play.
Well, how big is it?
How
big is the audience?
Exactly.
What is it? 2 million units?
2 million.
yeah,
is
right,
what
'cause that's what they wanted
the
to hit by.
original launch
Yeah,
would have
So,
been.
so let's take 2 million units,
Yeah.
right? Now, do you ever sell in 10% of the installed base?
Supposedly, Switch has a crazy attach rate with the
Well,
with
that's because
Zelda
there's
and then-
so few available. One of the
Yeah.
highest IPs of all time, right? Nintendo first party will deliver IPs that the Nintendo audience is just frothing for, right? So they'll have the highest attach rate of any new console
Yeah.
with their own specific IPs, Zelda and Mario. No, really, who really by the end of the life of the Wii, who else was making money on the Wii aside from Nintendo? How many titles sold for the Wii that weren't Nintendo first party?
Sure.
Okay. So what happened? So they started basically evaporating third-party support, right? Then we get to Wii U. What happened? Same.
No third parties, yeah.
So there could be some advantages for some people, but overall it's going to add up to the same thing. Smaller portfolio on the library, period. At the end of the day, the catalog is going to be this when it could have been this. You would have thought that maybe if there's no games for sale on a network, if people have a hardware device, maybe they'd like to know that a game has become available.
Yeah.
So I was thinking that, in a silly me.
Yeah.
Another similarity is like Shadow Mario and Skull Kid are both these mischievous kids who run around town pulling pranks. They're pranksters. Usually when I upload to this channel, it's a progress update on the major video, but I kind of just wanted to make something intermediary. This is information I'm going to include in the full video, and these are pretty old notes actually, but as it is, I don't know how much time I'll have to get into this in a full video, so I kind of wanted to have like a smaller separate ones, and if I get anything wrong in this video, leave a comment. We're all learning about this together, as far as I'm concerned anyway. And everything I do on this channel is an effort to improve the conversation that we're all having. Something I'm going to talk about super early on in Section 3 is how Aonuma is inspired by this role-playing game called Portipa Serial Murder Case, which you can see callbacks to in both Wind Waker and also his first directed game, Marvelous. But the reason that's relevant here is because Koizumi played a similar game in like the same era and the same genre and everything, because you can clearly see Denzini Land in Big Boo's Haunt.
It is a Shine Sprite. Shine Sprites are the source of power on Isle Delfino.
The power of the stars is restored to the castle.
There is no longer any power to support the peaceful lifestyle of the islanders. It is most pitiable.
The power of the stars is restored to the castle. And it's all thanks to you.